Hi. Hello, everybody. I tried to redo my background a little bit just to make it like a little bit more even with the camera. They're just these cool, like sticky things, and you can move them, but I've already moved them like 3 times. So I'm going to try to just leave them alone. But I really like them. I'm a huge fan of floral. All right. So I might as well just jump into it because this is going to stay up for as long as this channel does. But what I really wanted to do here was what I do best, which is tarot. And while this is not exclusively or even predominantly a tarot channel, it is something that I do every day, and it is my professional trade and craft. So it is something that I would very much like to share with you guys. And so, for the sake of time constraints, I'm going to do readings by the elements, not by the signs. So, what that means is you would have to have a pretty good understanding of your chart already. Um, so, you're going to want to have an understanding, at least a knowing of your basic astrology. So, that's going to be your sun, moon, rising, and Venus signs. This is not system specific. And what I mean by that is if you resonate more with the Western system, or the Vedic system, that's really not going to make a difference because my understanding with tarot and divination in general is that your intention counts for so much, and so does your choice. So if you choose that today you're fire dominant, well, who's going to tell you that you're wrong? Who's going to tell you that that's not the case? Nobody. So you get to choose what you extract from the reading. That is your sovereign right as a human being, and that is your authority that you always have, is to choose. So let's take a look here. I think we're going to start with Earth. I want to, it's cool, these types of readings like work best when there's a lot of people in the chat, because essentially what we're doing here is reading for collectives. I'm not just reading for one person in the chat, although it will very likely resonate deeply with one person. The purpose of these live sessions is to channel information, data. In what tarot does is it tells a story, and we're just trying to gauge what is going on with those pockets, with those collectives, and just see what's going on for February. I think what I would like to do is start each element with a kind of a status quo card. And what I mean by that is what you're going through right now. And that might look like what you've gone through for this past week, this past few weeks. This is kind of a general energy that you've been carrying around with you, and it's something you're kind of stuck in right now. And then I'll do a second card for that same element, but it takes on more of a predictive quality to it. So we're going to look at what is to come throughout the rest of February. I may decide to do another one of these like towards the end of February, but I don't want to overcommit to the tarot elements, the tarot aspect of this channel, because I do have so many other things that I'm working on, and so many other things that call me equally equally as tarot. But because this is my craft and I feel that this has so much value to it, this is something that I love to share with you guys, as I know it's so helpful. There's a bunch of tarot channels out there that I'm just stoked to have. So with that said, let's get into it. I think we're going to start with Earth today. Hi, everybody. Hello, hello. I see some, oh, there she is. All right, guys. So this is all I wanted. I just wanted to see some of my faves, some of the same names and faces that I have seen in this community for many, many years. Let's just get a good vibe going. So again, what you're going to want to do is establish which element you are going to identify with or resonate with today. If you want to do all of the elements, that's totally fine as well. No difference. But my suggestion is you're typically going to want to go with the highest concentration of element that exists in your chart. So for example, if you have out of your big three, your sun, your moon, your rising, if you have two earth signs, you're going to probably lean more towards the earth element because that has the highest density or concentration in your chart. Same thing for air. If you happen to have just 4 or 5, 6 strong air placements, that your chart holds quite a bit of air in ratio in comparison to the other elements. So that's what you're going to want to do. But if you're anything like me, I have all different elements all across my chart. If you're just a little bit of everything, that's totally fine. Maybe you feel like you're having a fire week or a fire day where your fire placements are just very at the forefront of your energy, and you're feeling, you're really feeling your Aries ascendant today, or your Venus in Sagittarius is really singing to you. It's all about what resonates for you, and if it doesn't, no big deal. All right, so everybody uncross your legs, uncross your legs. It's the only thing I'll ever ask of you. 2 things I'll ask of you guys if we ever do one-on-one readings is uncross your legs and speak your name out loud. People think I'm crazy, but I'm telling you it works. Okay, so this reading is for the earth elements. Our earth people in the chat, anybody that resonates deeply strongly with the earth element who may tune into this later at any time in the future. And so this is going to be about what you earth people, earth element, earth dominant folks have been dealing with. The energy that you guys have been in for the past couple days, maybe the past couple of weeks. And this is going to help you guys identify, who this message is for. If it resonates, like, oh, she's talking about me. That sounds like me. So that's what we're going to do. All right. All right. One more. My earth signs. And I'm using the family deck. I should probably put the link in the description, but this is a fabulous deck. Heidi Vandenberg sent me this deck a couple years ago, and it's actually a compilation of many, many different artists. They all came together and contributed a piece for this tarot deck, and that's why it's called the family. All right, guys. So my earth people, you guys have the 9 of Cups. All right. 9 of Cups is actually Pisces energy. So if you can see, there's the Pisces, the fish on either side. So 9 of Cups is an awesome place to be. Okay, 9 of Cups is one of my favorite cards. This is a very traditional card pertaining to wishes coming true, having things go your way, possibly something that you have wanted to manifest for some time. You could be very close or almost there when it comes to manifesting this wishful thing. Now, a couple other things. 9 of Cups, just in the shadow aspect, sometimes this is about overindulgences. Earth signs, you guys might have been overdoing it a little bit as far as the pleasures, the luxuries, possible overspending, possible overeating. Sometimes this is when you're eating and drinking too much. There's always such thing as too much of a good thing. So that's the 9 of Cups in its shadow, because I like to play both sides of it. We look at the light, we look at the dark. Let's get a little bit more for you guys, what you guys are going through. 9 of Cups, you could also be spending a lot of time around family, possibly making plans, future plans. 9 of Cups is just an all-around card of satisfaction. It's when emotionally your cups are feeling full. You could be thinking a lot about family or family members, more so than you typically are. The notion of the team as opposed to the individual comes into play when we talk about the Nine of Cups. Let's see. Let's get a little bit more. Clarify my Nine of Cups for my Earth people in the chat. What are my Earth signs going through right now? Uncross your legs. Uncross your legs. Let's see. All right. And then we have the Two of Wands. Okay. So, you know how I was just talking to you guys about planning, getting together with family. You guys are planning stuff. The Two of Wands is quite literally what happens in that planning stage. So here's our Two of Wands right here. And this is a really beautiful rendition. Somebody who is standing at a fork in the road. You can go left, you can go right. And you really can't see it too good here, but on the sign is the yin and the yang. And it's actually, so there's one quite dismal sort of city here, cityscape here, where there's a lot of, it just doesn't look good. It actually looks like the Twin Towers over here. I don't know if you can see that, but if you look really closely. So this is like a metropolitan cityscape, kind of cruddy looking. And then over here we have like kites and doves and rivers and lakes and mountains and stuff. So this really does have to do with what you choose. A choice here, it looks like dark and light, but I think for the sake of the art, the creator of this really just wanted to create contrast between, you know, the good and bad, you know, that sort of thing. But specifically for my Earth signs, Two of Wands, you could actually be dealing with, so Earth signs, especially if you've got like a Mars in, you know, you have Earth and Mars together. Typically, when you dig your heels into something, you're going to experience, you're going to take it personally sometimes if somebody wants to contend with you, if somebody wants to challenge your take or challenge your plan. So you could be dealing with external forces, possibly people, you know, deadlines and stuff like that that are going to try to inhibit your plan. Now, this really doesn't speak to the idea that you could make some major mistake here, where if you choose over here, like that's it, it's the end of the world. If you choose over here, like, you know, you win the game. It's never usually that black and white. There's always a liminal space, there's always a gray area. But I do feel like this has you at a bit of a crossroads right now. What you need to do and what you want to do could be looking quite different from one another. Let's see. The Two of Wands is Aries energy too. So Earth signs, you guys could be dealing with some difficult or contentious fire signs. Oh, I'm all red. I just scratched myself right before. And also I swear like the lights create, like, it's quite hot. So then I like kind of get hot. So let's see. All right. So Two of Wands energy, we've got some kind of a choice. Let's clarify what's going on here. I think it's time to get predictive. We can look at where things are going in the month of February for my Earth signs. Let's see. All right, my Earth people, uncross your legs, uncross your legs. Okay. All right. And we have the Three of Wands. Okay. So this is always exciting when we see cards move in sequence like this. So from the 2 to the 3. So the Three of Wands is all about the execution of the plan. We can officially move forward. All systems go. We could be looking at a lot of activity for you guys around the 3rd week of February. Things may really start to pick up in motion. Any of the stoppages or pauses that you've been forced to take, possibly for the sake of appeasing other people, is what I'm getting. Nine of Cups, Two of Wands gives me kind of a, a bit of a people pleasing vibe. You want to pacify the people around you. You're trying to be logical. You're trying to be strategic. You're trying to do the right thing and do right by the people that you care about the most. But at the same time, they might not have the right idea. Like they might not share the exact same like vision, and therefore that could be what this sort of point of contention is about. This Two of Wands, this is like if you could align your vision with this other either person or this other entity, organization, what have you. If you could manage to align it, it could be phenomenal. But the problem is that if they're not aligned, it's almost like this polarized version of it's very polarized. It's black and it's white. And so you run the risk of not being able to fully explain to this person. It's like you can lose someone if you don't present information in a way that kind of appeases them. I think you run the risk of scaring this fish away. So you could be dealing with Aries, you could be dealing with Pisces. But for the rest of February, we have the Three of Wands, which I really like. Traditionally speaking, this is somebody who is looking out at like the port area and they're looking at all of their ships. This is all very synonymous with the idea that we're not going to compromise our plan any further. And it's like, okay, you're good, we're good, let's go. This could be about travel. Let's see. And I want you guys to see this. It looks like we have some sacred geometry going on in here. Let's see. It looks a little bit like a Buddha. He looks kind of like a Buddha man, and he's got a bit of like a Celtic Trinity looking thing in there as well. So far you have Pisces, you've got a lot of Aries. You guys could be dealing with possible travel restrictions, someone not wanting to make the effort. Now, this isn't about relationships exclusively, although if you were to break it down, our lives are a series of relationships. Everything is a relationship. The relationship with your neighbor, the relationship with your dog, the relationship with your boss, there's relationships everywhere. So how are you guys doing in the chat? Let's see. I gained weight. Bitch. Fuck out of here. I might have, but I've gotten older too. Let's see. All right. Who is this person? Do I know you? I feel like you have to know me. Look, this guy's talking shit. He's saying, I'm Pisces and I wish I will meet somebody like Jenny one day. And then calls me fat in the next sentence. You guys, this is the problem. This is the issue. People these days are insane. I guess people have always been insane. How do you deal with going online? Is it scary? No, it's really not. What a wild comment. I know. I mean, whatever. That's okay. It's fine. Oh, I really wish I could meet someone like you, but you're fat. Well, that's okay. Thanks. No, now you're no, not fat, just gained weight. Thanks. I guess. I don't know. So anyways, I don't know. Like you guys may or may not be aware, we're moving into a little bit of a shortage, like a supply chain shortage. So not only products, but like definitely food, clearly eggs. So I like save all of my jars. Like anything I buy that is in a glass jar, I'll save it. And I piss my family off because I'm like, if I find any jars in the trash, I swear someone's gonna get a fresh one. Yeah, I beat my family. Everybody gets beaten. So, okay, let's get a little bit more for Earth. My goal was to keep each sign down below 10 minutes. I don't know where we're at. We're already up to 20 and I haven't even finished Earth. So there you have it, guys. This is how it is. Oh my Okay, guys. So let's get a little bit more for Earth. What do my uncross your legs? Uncross your legs. All right. All right. So the rest of February for my Earth signs. What do you guys need to know? Three of Wands, I'll say two, just as I was, oh, we got the Queen of Wands, Queen of Wands. So a lot of fire. Interestingly enough, earth signs, fire is a powerful element. You could find yourself collaborating really well with fire people. There's again this polarizing uh, relationship between the earth signs and fire people right now. It's a whole lot of like, if you can get on the same page, it's magic. But if you guys don't allow each other the space that you need to really do your own thing, this could become problematic. So make note of that. Cats, you could be dealing with cats, feline beings a lot this coming month. Queen of Wands typically has a lot of feline energy. There's a lot of royalty there. This is solar energy. This has a lot to do with the power that you derive from the sun. So the solar plexus here as well, creative energy from the sacral chakra. Wild animals, domestic animals. There could be a theme of that coming up for you guys in February. I don't know if anybody here is like anybody who's going to tune in later could be some kind of like an entertainer, meaning like they bring people into the home and they do a lot of entertaining. So I'm getting like people that work with decor. They could be redecorating. If you're an interior designer, interior decorator, there's a lot that's going on with luxuries in the home and items around the home. If this is going to be like our caterers, our people that put on events, event promoters, wedding planners, you name it. This is all about like pushing your creative expression and putting it out there. So this could be like a really good month for parties and entertaining and stuff like that. Queen of Wands is here's the guidance when it comes to Queen of Wands, my earth signs. So the Queen of Wands, out of all of the queens, in my experience, she demands the most space. She requires a lot of ground. And you can't miss her because she's the Queen of Wands. She can illuminate a dark place. And similar, how that translates into a person, you're never going to find the Queen of Wands compromising for very long. She does it her own way. She has a means of connecting with people that is quite unconventional. It's like, how does so and so get along with all of these people? They're kind of rough around the edges, and it's like that's just how this person pulls it off. They just connect with people. Queen of Wands, as far as action, this is a major green light. So if this was, just to draw some contrast, if this was sit tight or go forward, this is major go forward energy because it also coincides with that Three of Wands energy you had, which is the execution of the plan, a lot of forward motion. I'm getting something about breaking ground. So quite literally like the opening of an establishment, or when like big construction companies come in and they level an area and then they break ground specifically for the purpose of setting the foundation. There's a lot here about moving forward in a very physical way and using tools. So like big power tools, stuff that you use to cut stuff, laser stuff, fire stuff. There's a lot here about like literally putting tool to stone or tool to earth, breaking grounds and moving forward with some kind of a project that is going to garner very physical, very tangible results. Now, that's not to the exclusion of something like an online company or an online, telecommunications, because the element of fire, after all, it does have a lot to do with speed. It's a very fast energy. So I hope that this helps, earth signs. I really want to try to keep things short. I'm going to try not to do 20 minutes each time, because what time is it? I think I'm good. Let's see. Sorry guys, just a second. All right. Okay. All right. So who should we do next? Do you guys have any suggestions? I don't like you. Go away. You can go for hours. We'll be here. What if I don't want you here because you were rude? How about that? I would never. I think things about people all the time. You don't actually say it. My God. I swear I'm just, I'm old now, you guys. I'm an old lady. I'm a grandmother. All right, I guess we're going to do water. All right, so yeah, we're going to do water. We're just going to roll with it. How do we know what sign? Okay, 3 mics. So yeah, you're right. Carol, G8 is exactly why Heidi doesn't do this anymore. It's true. That's not a compliment. Look, it takes a lot to really offend me. I'm confident. I feel fine. It's fine. What are you gonna do? It's okay. Stop. Now he's apologizing. It's all right. Who gives a shit? So, yeah, we're going to do water. So this is how you know what your sign is. If you haven't looked up your chart, if you don't have a screenshot or, a picture saved of what your natal chart looks like, it doesn't matter if it's Western, Vedic, any system of your choosing that really works and resonates for you, that's what you're going to go with. And then how you determine the element that you're going to tune in for is you look at the highest concentration of placement. So if you have more than 3 or 4 placements that are, say earth dominant or water dominant, you got Mars, Venus, and your rising are all air signs. Those are pretty significant. And so you're going to want to maybe tune in for the air. Now, again, a lot of people's charts are they're varied. They've all across the board, the elements are all just kind of mixed in. And this is where I just invite you guys to take note of where you have the most concentration. Like if your Venus is fire, then the fire reading is going to be for your relationships and how you're relating to people in the month of February. If you've got, Mars in Taurus, like myself, how you go to acquire what you want, you're going to derive that information from the earth element reading that I do today. Okay, so these are just some examples of how you make this system work for you. Okay. The next person to call me chubby is getting thrown into the gulag. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. Now it's just funny. It's totally fine. I've been called so many terrible things on the internet. All kinds of terrible things have been said, and I don't know. You got to just laugh about it. Who cares? All right, water. Let's see. For my water people. Oh, yes. Uncross your legs. All right. So what have my water people been going through? What kind of energies have you guys been sitting in, dealing with for the past week or so, right up until today? Water time, girl. It's water time. Splish, splash. Your opinion is trash. We have fun. Okay. Thanks, guys. Thank you, guys. You guys are so sweet. I promise you, though, my feelings aren't hurt. They're really not. Um, so hold on, let me take a sip of water from my roasted garlic, no sugar added um, sauce jar. All right, y'all. Water. What are you guys dealing with, my water signs, that you are here in your Queen of Pentacles? This is a beautiful card. So it's so funny because Queen of Pentacles is Earth, right? So my water signs, you might be dealing with earthier aspects of your charts right now. You could be seeking or really in need of some significant grounding. I used to be under the impression that I was a triple water trine in Western. I think I technically am. And so I used to think that I needed all of this grounding because I was so much water. It turns out I was wrong. But my experience with true, genuine water signs is that the earthy people, or the people that are a little bit more solid as opposed to fluid, tend to really help them solidify their visions, their creative expression, and they sort of help in these supportive positions to enable them to express very well. So Queen of Pentacles as an energy you've been sitting in, look, I'll be real. Sometimes this comes up when people are overspending. I've seen Queen of Pentacles come up for folks that have spent a little bit too much on something or several things. And now they're kind of looking back and they're like, oh crap, did I overshoot that? Was I not supposed to do that? And, Queen of Pentacles, this is a natural card of abundance. So she naturally, you, he, she, this is not gender specific right now. This is really about your ability to move your vision into reality. You may always just find a way to have what you need, whether that be a place to stay, clothes on your back, food to eat, whatever. The Queen of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles here, coins and pentacles and discs are the same thing. So it's okay, guys. Who cares? It's all right. Nobody's mad at you, G8. It's really fine. It's okay. I'm actually about 12 pounds over my optimum weight. I will admit it. I'm a fat loser. Oh, shh. Oh, by the way, my dog's here. I got her for the weekend from my ex, and I just asked if I could keep her because there's like weird stuff going on in the neighborhood. And she's going to stay with me now because we're just like besties. So, dummy thick. Yes, thank you. Yeah, so 12 pounds. I got 12 pounds, guys. We're in this together. So thank you. This is actually a perfect motivator because now I really got to lose it now. So people on the internet don't call me chubby. Queen of Pentacles. You might have overspent a little bit, my water signs. You might have overextended yourself energetically. That means to people. That means you possibly have cramped your schedule too much, or you have given yourself too much to do. And this can then translate into feeling like you just don't have the energetic requirements to meet this grand to-do list that you have just created for yourself. Yeah, girl. I'm pregnant with ideas and motivation and 12 pounds of water weight. Oh, thank you guys for being so fun. A lot of the people in the chat, I will say, like, there's a lot of folks I don't know, but a lot of you guys we've met in person. We've hung out. We've like spent entire weekends together at conferences and stuff. So that's why I like to do this. Somebody asked why go on the internet, isn't it scary? It's like, yeah, it's a little unsettling at times, but I've been in the game for so long, and we've all been at this for so long that I know these people. They're not just internet people. Like, a lot of you guys are my friends. A lot of you guys are my clients. A lot of you guys have been with me since the beginning. So to me, it's kind of just like walking into a house, a crazy freaking house party, and it's like, oh hey, who's that guy? Who's hanging from the ceiling? You know, and I don't mean hanging like, I just mean like it's crazy. It's like a jungle out here for sure. But while you're here, while you're in this space, this is a safe space. I have tempered my need to be very like in your face and rude. It happens sometimes, but not as much as it used to. I've grown up a lot because I am officially an old lady now. So, okay, let's get some more for my water signs and the month ahead. Oh, we got a jumper. You guys got a jumper. We're taking it. The Empress. Yay, water. Yay. Okay, so my Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio dominant people, the Empress she's actually Taurus energy. So interestingly enough, my Earth people today had a lot of fire, and now my water people today have a lot of earth. So I think that this might have something to do with how you are, how you're interacting with people in your lives that are different from yourself. They perceive the world differently, they process things differently. And it's the contrast of experiencing ourselves through the mirror that is other people. So the Empress, as what you have coming up, so this is Taurus energy. Somebody could be getting a house, somebody could be doing things in the home. Again, the Empress, that Taurus energy, she's a lot about children. This is a very nurturing energy. She does, I'm getting something here about money and some kind of a return on an investment, or at least progress on the return of this specific investment. It was very interesting. You don't typically associate water signs with being the best money people. But that being said, water people, you may find yourselves attracting a lot of money, or find yourself in situations where you're surrounded by people who know a lot about money, who can offer you their expertise, their counsel, and help educate you. All right, Queen of Pentacles and the Empress. I have seen this come up in the past as some kind of possibly schooling or training. Mothers and babies fall under this a lot. Water signs, you could be, somebody out there could be taking classes or courses to be some kind of a doula, a midwife. They could be learning about childbirth and pregnancy. There's a lot of that here. Agriculture as well. Water signs, this could be a really good month to start planting stuff. I'm not a planter, like I'm not a gardener, like I am painfully bad at it, so don't take my advice on that. But if you happen to have a naturally green thumb, this could be a really good month for doing any kind of work in the garden. Oh, hi. Oh, hi, you guys. It was so great meeting you in Phoenix 2 years ago. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I've gotten to meet so many cool folks. I can't even tell you. I cannot even tell you how blessed I have been. Some of the most intelligent, bright people that have been in this game for far longer than I could, I was freaking chewing on crayons and watching Barney videos, and people were already so on their path of awakening, and so just crystallizing their spiritual journey. And so I'm so blessed to have met all you fine folks. All right, let's get a little bit for my water signs. What do you guys have coming up in the month of February? Okay. So you have the Page of Coins. All right. So this is actually a really interesting rendition of the Page of Coins. It's the thinking man archetype, and he is sitting on the globe. He's sitting on the world, and in front of him, he seems to be contemplating this headstone, and it says human. Like this is the resting place of the human. Born April 1st, 1902, and died November 22nd, 1963. And then there appears to be some kind of black cube structure in the sky. This is a weird one. This is incredibly non-traditional. This is not what I'm accustomed to. I haven't whipped this deck out in a while, y'all. But this is the family deck. It is very beautiful. It's quite an experience. This was purchased for me as a gift by Heidi Vandenberg, our lovely Vedic astrologist and real estate agent extraordinaire, who, by the way, is fabulous. She's doing very well. I talk to her sometimes. So Page of Pentacles. So this is going to be some kind of a welcomed message. You guys could have been waiting for some kind of a validating message. Sometimes this comes as a form of an apology. You might actually, water signs, you might be dealing with someone who it's very difficult for them to outright tell you that they are sorry, or if they are, that there's something that someone might have been afraid to tell you, hesitant to tell you. Page of Pentacles is like the extension. It's the offer. It's the first olive branch. It's like, hey, I'm reaching out, and water signs, you may feel like you end up having to be the bigger person with this Empress card, because this is like when you create a space around you where someone feels like he or she knows what I'm thinking. Do I have to say the whole thing? He or she knows what I'm thinking because they are so intuitive. My water sign is so, attuned to what's going on. So I don't have to spell it out for my water sign. I can just put forth this tiny little olive branch, and he or she will know exactly what I mean by it. And that will be enough. So that's up to you. It's up to you guys to decide if that Page of Pentacles, Page of Coins, same thing, energy is sufficient for you. If this is about a relationship, you can expect somebody to show you a little bit of improvement, but not a whole lot. There's still expectation for you to do some of the heavy lifting, water signs. I think that was about another 20 minutes. I'm not sure. How does that feel for water, you guys? You like it? You like it? Okay. Isn't that wild? Someone says, how? I ask what I know the answer to, but it never fails to make me giggle. I have peeked at other channels, but you're somehow always on similar wavelength. All these years still gets me. I'm not sure if you were talking about my content in particular, or if you were talking about tarot readers, and you really can just go on YouTube right now and search, I'm a Gemini moon, so I'll search, Gemini moon readings. And, they're not all right there, but if you watch a lot of them, you realize dude, some of how is this possible that the same themes are coming up for the same signs? What is this about? And my understanding is that collectives of people, their mental energy creates in and of itself its very own consciousness structure. And within that structure, if you know what you're looking at, and if you have some kind of tool or language that you use to translate that, you can do so. And that's how it works. And I know it sounds crazy and it seems like, holy crap, what? But it's just something that people much smarter than us did a long, long, long time ago. They figured it out. You can channel information. You can allow yourself to be a conduit and a type of open source tool or instrument for your fellow man, so that people can, have a better understanding of themselves and what's going on. So that's what I'm doing here. All right. So I hope that was good, water. I hope that was good. let's see. So we are going to move on to air. All right, so my air people. So my air people are going to be Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. All right. So my gems, Aquarians, and Librans. So again, if you know, a moon in Libra, this is going to resonate. You know, you got a sun in Aquarius, it might vibe, you know. It's really up to you guys. All right, uncross your legs. All right. Thank you. Does that say Raisin Girl? Raisin Girl. Thank you. Ah, I like that. I imagine you're from California, Raisin Girl. That's what it seems. That's what I'm getting. You know, them Cali grapes, making them raisins, them craisins. All right, so air. Let's see where my air signs have been the past week or so. What kind of vibes y'all are working with? All right, my gems, my Libras, my Aquarians. What's going on with y'all lately? Call me maybe. All right. So you guys have the 9 of Wands. I wasn't sure if this was upside down or what. These artists, man, artists are crazy. Artists are strange people. So yeah, we have the 9 of Wands here. Happy birthday, Tammy. Ascension Diaries is here. Pennsylvania. Oh, and you're a craisin. Oh, I love that. It's a song reference. You guys, this is so much fun. Okay, so my air signs. You guys have the 9 of Wands, all right? So this could be, you know, air signs. You guys might have been feeling tested as far as your boundaries lately. You could feel like, and particularly a fire sign, or just dealing with people that appear to be very, you know, possibly quite contentious. They really want to assert their will or assert their ideas onto you. 9 of Wands asks you to assert your boundary and to be very serious about it. 9 of Wands, as like where you're at right now, sometimes this can be construed as the energy required right before you break through that finish line, or it's like you kind of feel like quitting. You know, 9 of Wands energy comes up for me when I feel like I'm done. I don't want to play this game anymore. Gall y'all, I'm out of here. I'm done, you know. So it's like the stakes are highest, the energy most volatile, but this is exactly the part of the game that requires you to push harder because you're real close. And so this kind of implies also that if you quit now, my air signs, if you were to give up now, or if you were to give this space or kind of like fall back on your own boundary, and like, so what that means is as I'm getting, you've told somebody something for like the umpteenth time. You have asserted a boundary several times. You're not being listened to. It's not being received. So this is like, okay, am I going to just succumb? Am I going to just fold and like let this company, let this boss, let this person, let this energy that is not me make me fold in on myself? And the answer is no. I don't know air signs to typically be, they're not typically quitters. I think an air sign, if anything, their challenge is sometimes focusing, sort of containing all of their energy into, you know, one project or two projects at any given time. Typically air signs are just all across the map because they're so connected. They're so spread out. You know, they receive a lot of information very quickly. They transmit information very quickly. So Nine of Wands, air signs, you might feel as if you're having to assert yourself. You might feel like, I don't want to have to defend myself. I don't want to be in a position where I am having to tell people how to treat me or how to talk to me. I shouldn't have to do that. That's BS. Okay. So Nine of Wands, we have you in your, you kind of, you have something to prove. People be checking you left and right. All right, air. Let's see what you guys have going on for the rest of the month. Let's see. All right, air signs. The month of February for my air signs: Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. Hello, hello. All right. So you've got the Hanged Man and the Chariot. All right. So we have Cancer. We've got Pisces. Huh. So I'm getting here that there's this difficult person or situation. The universe is funny. It'll manifest a lesson as a person, an animal, a house, a situation. The lessons are all the same, but the way that it looks can vary wildly. Now, in this instance, the Hanged Man is you deciding that instead of fighting this person, or instead of striving against this force, you actually decide to suspend your need for control, your desire for control, and you just flip it. You just totally flip it and say, okay. And you may actually find that that was all that was necessary. That's all you really had to do, because the Chariot as your outcome. All right, so here's the Hanged Man and here's the Chariot. There we go. The Chariot, Cancerian energy, does have a lot to do with what happens when two opposing forces or polarizing forces come together and are essentially pulling one vehicle, which in this case is the Chariot. And it's like, we need those moving parts to operate as one whole, or else we cannot move forward. We cannot, the car won't roll, the house won't sell, the marriage won't work, the product will fall flat. These are all examples of what happens when you cannot force another party or force another entity into doing it your way. There is some kind of common ground here, air signs. There's some kind of common ground that may reveal itself. I think it's already there, but as we move through the month, I think that only becomes more visible the more that you choose to rescind control. There's, Nine of Wands is where you're at. This is you telling someone in different ways, many different times, how to behave, how to treat you, how to conduct themselves, that sort of thing. And I can see you saying, like, I should not have to repeat myself. I should not have to spell it out. Such and such should know their job, or so and so should know the rules. And, my partner should know how I operate. All of these things are examples of what it might look like, air signs, for when you are asserting a boundary and you're not being heard. Now, that being said, I'm not saying that you should allow any kind of obstruction of your will or any kind of manipulation. So I'm not saying allow yourself to be a doormat. I am just saying that fighting this in the typical way, like the way that you typically would fight this, which is, push back, or provide evidence of the alternative, or to just use your energy to contend. That I don't think that that's where the ground is going to be found. I think the common ground occurs, the common ground reveals itself when you decide that maybe this common ground exists in this space of reception. um so we'll see. I mean, the Chariot is very fast moving energy, so there's a good chance that this whole situation clears up very quickly. The Chariot is the fastest moving energy in the deck, and it typically does imply a situation that picks up momentum very, very quickly. So if by the end of the month, you're talking about finally, going to a place that you were planning on going, but you didn't think you thought it was going to take a lot longer. The Chariot implies something that is like overnight, like boom, let's get it. There are some alternative messages I'm getting here, probably for specific people. Water signs, somebody, this could be just one person, this could be 10 people, I don't know. But there is something here about finally making an executive decision to leave a situation. Because the Chariot, again, very traditional card of the vehicle. It is a vehicle of transportation. This is movement, motion over either water and or land. And then the Hanged Man is kind of what happens sometimes when you no longer have the energy to fight. Somebody might actually have, this kind of looks a little bit like a secret getaway, like when somebody just decides to leave, like in the middle of the night or without saying anything. When somebody just says, I'm out of here, I'm gone. And that could be a job, that could even be, a financial situation that, this investment or this bill or this service or whatever, this just does not work for me anymore. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what the repercussions are. I need to pull out of this. I need to get out of this right away. And I need to, consolidate my resources, what have you. All right. So I hope that helps, Air. I can't believe we're almost at an hour. That's okay. All right. So did we do fire yet? Trying to think. We did earth, water, air. Yeah, fire. Fire is left. All right, guys. All right. No, I didn't start on fire, G8. Fire cards were coming up in the earth reading is what was happening. All right, fire signs. So these are going to be my Sagittarius people, my Aries, and my Leo people. This is for you guys. Yay. Okay. Hello, hello. If you guys hear any funny sounds, snorting or anything, wheezing, my Rottweiler is looking out the window right now. All right, let's see. All right, fire signs. What kind of energy are my fire signs in currently? Seven of Cups and the 10 of Wands. Okay. So we do have fire for fire here with the 10 of Wands. 7 of Cups is water energy. It's actually, we've got a lot of Pisces today. You guys, Pisces is active right now. A lot of Piscean energy coming up in cards for everybody. Now, 7 of Cups for you guys, my fire signs. This is actually a little bit of an uncomfortable place to be, at least in my understanding of most fire dominant people. To be in the 7 of Cups energy implies when you've possibly settled a little bit too long in a planning stage or a rough draft phase of either a relationship, a project, it could be school stuff, it could be work stuff, where something just has not picked up off of the ground and you end up feeling a sense of stagnation. As a Seven of Cups, well, this is an awesome card that implies a lot of rich psychic vision, increased dreamscape experiences where you might feel very connected to your dream space, your dream time. This is not like, for most fire dominant people, they don't really like that because it's like, okay, cool, you're dreaming, keep dreaming. What fire signs are typically going to be out there, out front, finding a way to implement new tools, new strategies, new techniques. So to be stuck in a Seven of Cups vibe, Aries, Leo, Sag, you guys might be placed in this position where the idea, okay, some kind of an idea, whether it be a creative idea or a plan that you have moving forward, it's going to reach such a point, such a boiling point, because this is the 10 of Wands, is something that is nearing completion, but it also implies a whole lot of like structural pressure. So I've had the 10 of Wands come up for people that experience like spinal pain, knee pain, pain in the skeletal structure, because this does have a lot to do with the pressure and the weight that any given structure is holding up. So the Seven of Cups and the 10 of Wands, my fire signs, you guys might be dealing with some less than good symptoms pertaining to what happens when an idea has been sitting in your mind, rolling around in your mind too much. You might feel that you have been investing energies kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like irregular investing. With you might have tried something a little unconventional or something out of your comfort zone recently, and I just see you being like further uncomfortable with it, where you're just like, ugh, there I go. That's what I get for trying something new. No real results. Nothing is manifesting for me. Fire signs, some of you may be on a bit of a time crunch, like a time constraint. You may be working with people that are moving at a pace that does not suit you. You could feel like you're having to pull the weight of folks around you. They couldn't, this looks like a classic situation of someone who is very go, 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 pedal to the metal, but now they're in a space where they have to slow it down. And there really is no other option for some of you. You have to slow down. And that could be because, whether the vision, the project, the job, the company, whatever, it implies other people. So if this is not a one man or one woman show, this implies some of the frustration associated with, oh my God, this is taking forever. Okay, so let's get into what you guys have coming up. Fire signs for the month of February. What are my fire signs? Uncross your legs. What do my fire signs have coming up for the month of February? Aries, Leo, Sag. Hey, everybody. Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, and the King of Cups. Y'all, all right, fire. Okay, you guys. So, all right, so fire. Two aces, all right. Anytime we see aces, for what you've got coming up, meaning what's coming towards you, the predictive nature of a reading, we welcome aces because we love change. We embrace change. It's the only constant. If we don't change, we don't adapt to change, we die, we fail, we lose. So aces, they really set the tone for my fire signs as far as what you need to be preparing yourself for throughout February. Prepare for new things. Accept fully accept the idea that uh, there may be new procedures being implemented in your system, your already existing system. Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Wands. We actually could be looking here at, for some of you, possibly a new investor, somebody that comes in and has some form of resources for you, whether this be counsel, whether this be, a financial benefactor, somebody that wants to fund and support you in your endeavors or your company's endeavors. Like if you're working for a company and there's like some kind of a big project coming up, then we're looking at some kind of new force that comes in and reinvigorates the whole project. The Ace of Pentacles is a card of money and stability. So this is what we want to see if you guys are waiting on some kind of payout. If this is a new job, you're going to get the job, double aces or new beginnings. Let's see here. I'm getting a lot of butterfly symbolism, in particular monarch butterflies. And that's not coming from my brain. So everybody chill out with the MK Ultra shit. Okay. The people that started MK Ultra didn't invent butterflies. Okay. They don't get to keep butterfly symbolism forever. Those criminals. So this is where the monarch butterfly is coming from. We've got this lovely figure out in the field. And then these are both aces, by the way. And then here is our Ace of Wands. She is creating beauty from her magic wand there. So, and then King of Cups. Fire signs, King of Cups energy towards the end of the month. Some of you may be reconnecting with a patriarchal figure, somebody in the family, a father, a grandfather, a husband, a brother, somebody who embodies quite a it's the emotional masculine that you know. It's the masculine in your life that provides a sense of there's an emotional maturity, okay, associated with the King of Cups. He is considerate, he is open-minded, he is fluid, he has an understanding of basic psychology. You know, if this is a person coming into your work or professional sphere, or even if this is just you, what this does is imply your ability, fire signs, to consider the emotional, sort of the emotional spheres of the people around you. Because this is somebody, you know, King of Cups as an energy is somebody who it's like they allow people to be their own emotional authorities. You know, they're not controlling, they don't try to push their own insights on you or make you conform to them. You know, King of Cups energy has such a deep understanding of psychology and human emotion that this energy really allows you to feel a sense of like it's almost like mental organization. So otherwise things are just way too chaotic when people's emotional fields are overlapping into each other's and it's just one big mess. So what this does imply, whether this is a person, you know, a father, grandfather, husband, brother, or somebody in your work environment that is just like the emotional authority of the situation, and he holds everybody, he gives everybody permission to hold their own emotional space. But if this is not a person at all, fire signs, and this is your ability towards the end of the month to mentally organize your thoughts, to organize and compartmentalize your emotions. And I don't mean for the sake of like, push it down, bottle it up, and don't share your emotion. It's not that, because this is about emotional maturity. This is about getting to the root of the emotional problem and not hiding from that. So let's see. And since we have time, let me see, 2:26 Eastern. All right, so I'm going to just go ahead and do a general message. Thank you. Thank you, Raisin Girl. A really cool chat today, you guys. It's been a really interesting group today. Let's see. And so I think what I want to do, since I do have some time, I want to do a general reading. So as you guys know, there are 4 elements: earth, water, air, fire, but there is a 5th, and this is known as ether. So we're going to pull a card for the ethers today. And all ether is, my understanding, well, all it is if we could just simplify it. Ether is the 5th element. It is basically it's spirit. Ether is spirit. It is formless. Some have described it as being the space that pulls everything together, that holds everything together, that sort of empty. We see it as empty space, and really it's ether. It is the element of spirit, of divinity in and of itself. So we all have ether in our chart: earth, water, air, fire, and ether, the 5th element. So we are going to pull a card for the ether element. Uncross your legs. Okay. And this is going to be for everybody. This is just going to be general energies right now, like where everybody is at right now, and then what things look like for us all by the end of the month. I know it's incredibly general, but we're just going to roll with it. It's too bright. So bright. Okay. All right. 5th element, ether, general messages for anybody and everybody tuning in at this time, and anybody and everybody that will tune in at a later date. This message is for you. All right. So, guys, we are all right now sitting in this 7 of Swords energy. Okay. So I'm getting that this is more of a snapshot of our collective psyche. For the sake of discussion, I think I would limit this particular reading to the Western Hemisphere. As I say that, I kind of hesitate, and I say it with a little bit of doubt, because I'm like, wait a second. The Western Hemisphere isn't going through any more or less of this energy than, the other hemispheres. So I'm thinking, but me, because I'm in Eastern time zone. I'm in the United States. I'm attuned psychically, most notably to my country, to this country that I live in. So just as a general message right now, I feel like this has more to do with what we're going through as a country right now. Okay. But certainly I'm not trying to say that we're the only country right now under manipulation, because that's not the case. It's bad. So, okay. So 7 of Swords energy, you guys. So I want to show you guys, this is a fox, and 7, the swords, there's 2 by the tree. There's a few swords floating around. So the 7 of Swords, traditionally, this is a card of strategy. Swords are the element of air. So we're talking about things like news, media, language, messages, all of this stuff, that travels through air, has to do with our telecommunications. It has to do with our crypto sphere, our crypto environment. Air is invisible, right? And yet, all of these things travel on the air. 5G travels on the air. Satellites travel through the air. All of these things need. Ooh, and if you look really closely, I don't know if you can see it, but you can actually see a webbing, like in the night sky there, you can actually see a webbing, some kind of like a fabric or a matrix that appears to exist like in the night sky. And you guys will hear me talk about that quite a bit. I'm actually working on a series right now pertaining to the atmosphere and the waters and the metals that are in the atmosphere. So, Seven of Swords, this has a lot to do with deception, just plain and simple. If this were a card for a relationship, say it was just me and you here, and we're talking about, my girlfriend, my boyfriend, my husband, my wife, and then when we pull the Seven of Swords, we're kind of looking at a situation where somebody is maybe not blatantly lying, but they are utilizing to their advantage some kind of strategic plan. Okay. Sometimes that strategy, it's not done for specifically for the purpose of deception and cruelty. Sometimes strategy is done so that you can protect a person, or so that you can do things very in a way where everybody appears to win. So a lot of people get this card and they're like, "Oh no, the Seven of Swords!" Like, it's scary. It's a scary card because it implies that things are not what they seem. Is the Seven of Swords. This is why it's the fox. The fox is he's very cunning. He's very intelligent. He's extremely intelligent. He listens, he observes, he knows what's going on. And it is this knowledge, it is this ability that the fox has that he will use to his advantage. Now, is the fox always evil? No, it's a fox. So this doesn't mean that the duality, sort of the dualistic nature of the information right now, it does not imply that that is exclusively for malevolent purposes. I'm under the impression here that the Seven of Swords might be taking place because it's strategy, and that that whatever they're showing us, we're being asked to sort of broaden our scope. So I hope that helps. Let's see here. Oh my God, I'm getting called out here. Yeah, that's how you know it's a good reading, when you feel personally attacked. Yeah. All right, let's get some more. So the element of ether, the element of spirit. What do you guys need to know? What's coming up? Yeah, Chinese spy balloons. I don't know. My dog told me it was one of ours. She looked me dead in my face and she said, "It's one of ours, dingus." And I believed her. I think she was telling the truth. I believe it was a DARPA technology. If it was a technology at all, watching that thing get shot down, it seriously looked like that thing was just full of dust and somebody blew it up in their backyard and taped a whole bunch of stuff to it. Like, I don't believe any of it. I don't buy any of it. Maybe it was some kind of an actual spy balloon, but I think that thing was literally full of hot air and it was nothing. And it was DARPA's way of getting under our skin, deep state's way of getting under our skin, possibly even this idea of letting the populace know that China owns our leaders. Because I don't think it was a Chinese spy balloon. I think they want us to think that, so that we look at how our administration handled it and we lose all faith, any last shred of faith and confidence that anybody had in this administration, to do something about it. this was, I think, a way for them to show us who's in control and that they are controlled. Furthermore, about a week and a half ago, and if you go to my Facebook, Jenny Constantine, you'll see I posted a link. I actually did like a little, I wrote an essay on my YouTube channel. People read essays on YouTube. I don't know. I like to write, so I like to write essays. But I think that Trump made an announcement about a week and a half ago. He mentioned creating an impenetrable missile shield, right? So what the hell is that? I go into it a little bit. I'm working on some stuff about kind of getting into the woo-woo side of things and the Space Force. But then not more than a fortnight later, here we are shown exactly why we need this impenetrable missile shield. So it's all a show. This is in a lot of ways it is a lot like a movie, but there are variables here, very large scale variables that are not like a movie, in the sense that we are sovereign and organic vessels of God, and therefore we do get to choose what we do next. And they think they have our number. They think they can predict, maybe they can, to an extent, predict our patterns, our behaviors, what we're going to do next, what have you. But I am very much of the understanding that there are elements to this game that they didn't and couldn't possibly have accounted for, because there's this principle of duality. They cannot have all of the cards. They cannot hold all of the chips. We have tools at our disposal. We have a lot going for us. And I think that this whole thing can serve as an opportunity for us to reveal these tools that we had all along. That's how I see it. I think that this is just one huge growing opportunity. And I don't see it as the end of the world. I'm not black pilled. You're never going to hear me, that's it, guys, give it up. Fine, go give up. See you later. Bye. We don't need you. This shit ain't over till the fat lady sings. And that ain't me. All right. I ain't the fat lady. It ain't me, y'all. I'm a little chubby. So what? So what? I like my thickness. I like the jiggle. I like the, in the pants, the jiggle. I like the jiggle. Makes me feel good. But I'm like, 10 to 12 pounds overweight. I could, could definitely slim down a little. But anyways, so okay, 7 of Cups and Page of Swords. This is all right. So we have another fox. Okay. Turn on my super chat. What's that mean? I don't know what that means. Anyways, if you guys did want to book a personal reading with me, my website is in the description. I think I put it in the description. It's just jennyconstantine.com. Go ahead and choose a time and day that works best for you. I'm also going to be doing more stuff on my Patreon, and I'm going to keep it way within the realms of affordability, because I know that stuff really does add up over time. And I'm just trying to make it so that I'm able to do this a lot more, and I don't have to juggle, clientele and this. I'd like to do more of this here for the time being so that I can reach more people more quickly. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. So let's see here. 7 of Cups and Page of Swords. I don't know how to turn on a super chat, you guys. Anybody know how to do that? Top chat. Participants. Community moderation. I don't know. I don't think I'm allowed to have a super chat, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm convinced that I have not been allowed to have a super chat since I had Liz Crokin on my show years ago. Ever since that, they were like, girl, bye. Girl, bye. You ain't making a red cent on our platform. So it's fine. It's cool. All right. So we do have double sevens. I'm going to tell you guys right now. 2 7s in our current position. This has a lot to do with the transient nature of things right now. You guys ever recall the saying lucky number 7? Um, Luck is a funny thing, and it's actually it can go either way when we're looking at sevens. So sevens have a lot to do with that fulcrum point in time where you can go forward, you can go backwards. It really depends on where you choose to push it. Are you going to fall back? You're going to move forward. The Seven of Swords, Seven of Cups. This looks like a lot of deception. Again, Seven of Cups came up earlier, and this is a very classic energy of the haze, the fog, if you will. And what I mean by that is, a lot of these narratives that are created are fueled almost entirely by people's fear, the things that people are thinking about. Folks are already thinking about nuclear war, they're thinking about cyber attacks, they're thinking about plagues and death and starvation and thirst. All of these things are fears that are put out. They're part of who we are. People are afraid, have always been afraid. Like, self-preservation is our primary instinct for a reason, because the threats of all of these things are very real. There's always a threat. Now, that being said, the narrative is almost entirely a recycled, jumbled configuration of all of your fears, and that's why it's not helpful. I believe a great deal in folks that'll they'll watch CNN, they'll watch MSNBC, they'll watch all of these spaces. They're not absorbing the information, they're looking at what basically the enemy is saying. Look at what their narrative is, and then compare that to what's going on in other more verifiable situations, such as independent researchers, investigative journalists, and then also good old fashioned common sense observation, firsthand observation. There isn't enough that can be said for that. People have outsourced their research abilities and their investigative capabilities for far too long. I think we have completely set to the wayside the value of common sense observation. And so this really, Page of Swords, this is an incredibly, so this is he's a fox, but he's floating, and he's got like a ring and a sword that he's like floating. He's looking for something. He's looking for a key. He's missing something. So the Page of Swords is incredibly perceptive, and it's like laser sharp, honed in vision. Be very careful for little tidbits of information that seem to swing the narrative in very distinct directions. And what I mean by that is that we may be getting some of the picture, but it's this like one facet of it that really like, that's the illusion part. That's the illusory part of it. It's just like this one fragment of it. So it's the key. There's some key components that change. Just like this fragment right here. That's what people want to focus on. Like, the bigger picture is the bigger picture, but there's some kind of a key component. This could be coming up for you guys right now, because if you're here, you may find like yourself to be very perceptive, or information just finds its way to you, or you find the necessary information, as just happens that way. But this does have a lot to do with searching for some kind of key. Could have a lot to do this month, like a lot of focus on linguistics, a lot of focus on terminology, definitions, language. I'm getting something about a word that it's like one word, but I hear it being said in every country. I don't know what the word is. There's something about, it's more like, I'm getting the concept of all of the world's people, different languages, different linguistics. Everybody is experiencing one thing, and it's that one thing that unites us. So the word sounds different in every language, but the concept, the notion is universal. You guys have heard about Turkey and Syria, the big ass giant earthquakes. That's freaking tragic. My gut tells me that these are not entirely natural. My gut tells me that there's some weaponry going on, probably some subterranean activity that is, has to do with this earthquake. It's just this incredible loss of life going on right now. So if I could just request one thing today, it would be to send some healing energy or some kind of healing energy, loving energy to those people. As if, I don't know if that will help, but I mean, I just can't imagine. Some of the footage coming out right now is just so tragic, and to think that this is man-made is pretty scary, although not shocking. And then in the event that it is a naturally occurring earthquake, which could certainly be possible, earthquakes have been happening since the beginning of time. It's still equally as tragic, and it just reminds us that life is very fragile and that this earth, she's a big one. She's a big girl, and we think we have things under control. Um, and very often, we just do not. So, all right, you guys, I think I'm going to call it today. I got to do all 5 elements. You guys, that was a lot of fun. Thank you so, so much to the moderators, my friends, clients, and peers that decided to come out and hang out in the chat today and support me. I hope you guys had a really good time. I'm going to just go ahead and post some extra links into the description box after. I want to link this deck that I used today, the family deck. And then also, if you want a one-on-one reading with me, go to my website, jennyconstantine.com. And you guys will probably see me on here again another time this week. If not tomorrow, then Friday. So I have my show with Vix on Thursdays. But all right, you guys, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. I love you all. See you later.